crafted with great care for each of you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what I believe will be a landmark moment, not just for Msuite, but for the world of family office in Kerala. Tonight, we gather not merely to witness a product launch, we gather to mark the beginning of something far more enduring, a philosophy of legacy, stewardship, and multi-generational thinking. I am Reshma Gobiga, and it's my honor to be your host for the evening. Before we begin, allow me to orient you to the evening ahead. We have thoughtfully curated program, moments of reflection, insight, and celebrations. We ask that you surrender fully to the next few hours. Before we proceed, let us pause for a moment for a silent prayer and reflection. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we are truly blessed to have with us a man whose life work has given voice, vision, and value to everything he touches. With over 4 decades of experience in communication, branding, and entrepreneurship, as chairman of Mott, founder of Guide Advertising and Marketing Associate, chairman of Comvertiga, and national president of PRCI, he leads with scholarship, strategy, and purpose. A published author, Chanakya Award recipient, and champion of youth and cultural preservation, his leadership spans boards of private and publicly listed companies alike. We are honored to welcome our chairman, Dr. T. Vinay Kumar, onto the stage.
Distinguished guests, our family members, co-directors, good evening. They say that wealth is the ability to fully experience life. But for many successful families, managing that wealth often becomes a full-time job that takes them away from the life itself. Today marks a historic milestone for the financial landscape of Kerala. We are gathered here to bridge the gap between having success and truly enjoying its fruits. It is my distinct honor to welcome you all to the inaugural conclave of Msuite, Kerala's first true multi-family office, and promoted by our own company, Mode Financial Services. In an era of global markets and complex regulations, the modern family's financial life is no longer just about picking stocks. It is about navigating cross-border taxes, ensuring a seamless legacy for the next generation, and protecting interests that span continents. Until today, families often had to act as their own general contractors, talking to a broker for investments, a lawyer for a will, and an accountant for taxes, hoping all the pieces will fit together. Msuite changes that. We are not just another wealth management company. We are your personal CFO. As John D. Rockefeller once famously said, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. Msuite embodies the spirit of institutional excellence. Our platform brings every different thread of family wealth under one roof. Investments data-driven, unbiased and global. Legacy planning, ensuring your values outlast your currency. We often hear about the maze of shifting laws and ethics. But at Msuite, we don't just help you navigate that maze. We rise above it. We provide a bird's eye view of the legal and ethical landscape, ensuring that your path is always clear, your investments are always secure, and your legacy remains beyond reproach. We offer tailored expertise for the global Malayali diaspora. We don't just manage portfolios, we manage peace of mind. Kerala has always been a land of enterprise and global land footprints. From the spice trade of antiquity to the tech and healthcare leaders of today, our families have always looked outward. It is only fitting that the state now has a homegrown institution capable of providing the same level of sophistication found in London, Singapore, or Dubai. As we officially launch Msuite, I am reminded of a quote by Warren Buffett, the investment guru, who popularized the idea of looking for companies with a moat, a unique competitive advantage that protects them from competitors, which incidentally is the name and philosophy of our company, Moat Financial Services. He said, someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. നമ്മൾ പണം സമ്പാദിക്കുന്നതിനേക്കാൾ പ്രധാനം അതെങ്ങനെ സുരക്ഷിതമായി സൂക്ഷിക്കുന്നു, അത് അടുത്ത തലമുറയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി എങ്ങനെ പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അതിനാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ മോട്ട് ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ സർവീസസിൻ്റെ Msuite നിങ്ങളെ സഹായിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. I would also like to welcome all our directors, all our partners who are listening or who are attending this program online, all our other friends and distinguished guests. I would like to mention about one word about our Biju John, our CFO and our CEO and our managing director. He is everything. He is behind the show. His dream is coming true now. When he took charge of the helm of the Moat Financial Services, our turnover was just 30 crores. I was there all along with him. Now we are, with God's grace, we are touching 350. That is possible only because of the unrelented efforts, tireless work and dreams he always see. He always used to share it with me. So that those dreams are actually becoming a real things. Our Hak also is there. He is also always with him, supporting, mentoring and monitoring. Welcome you all. Thank you.
Profound words from a leader who has shaped the landscape of integrated communications in India. Thank you, Dr. Vinay Kumar, for your visions and blessings for Msuite. In our tradition, light represents knowledge, prosperity, and auspicious beginning of every great endeavor. We now request our honored guest to kindly come forward for lighting of lamp, symbolizing the dawn of new chapter of family office in Kerala. Dr. Vinay Kumar has given us his words, and now we request him to give us his light. It is your hands that will light the first flame of Msuite's journey tonight. Sir, kindly remain on the stage. We warmly invite Mr. Shankar P. Panikar to please come on to the stage and light the lamp. Mr. Shankar P. Panikar is a multidisciplinary professional with over 3 decades of experience and principal owner of Panikar and Panikar, advocates, associates at BBS and partner as BBS Plus Consulting Kochi. His career spans leadership roles as HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Nest Technologies and Amphils FCI. He has honored as Chairman, Southern Indian Regional Council and Institute of Cost Accountants of India. We are honored to invite Mr. Brijesh Damodaran to the stage to perform the auspicious ceremony of lighting the lamp. Mr. Brijesh Damodaran is a chartered accountant with over 25 years of experience, 14 of which in investment management. It is our privilege to invite Mr. Vishnu Prasad B. Menon to please come on to the stage and light the lamp. Mr. Vishnu Prasad B. Menon represents Balan and Company, a name synonymous with professional integrity in Kerala for over 5 decades. We warmly invite Mr. Biju John, CEO and founder of Mott, to please come on to the stage and light the lamp. Tonight, he lights the lamp that marks the most significant chapter of his journey. Now, we request Mr. Fazal Hamid, Executive Director of Mott, to please join our honorable guest on stage as we capture the milestone moment together. A beautiful and auspicious beginning. Thank you all to all our dignitaries for gracing this sacred moment. Please be seated. To set the stage for this evening, I now invite the man who envisioned Msuite, a leader in investor relations, strategic marketing, and innovations that create lasting impact. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming CEO and founder of Mott, Mr. Biju John.
Good evening, my investors, partners. 15 years of our PMS journey, my team and I have maintained close relationship with clients, and we have worked closely with NRI families as well. The problems we kept seeing were around succession, family partition, legacy planning, and even lost shares. For every one of these situations, we provided the proper guidance and support. And every time we built a solution. That is actually where the concept of what we are launching tonight come from. Real problems, real people, and real gaps that no one else was filling. When NRIs face challenges, they turn to into their relationship manager or reach out of their close circle, and most of the time, they came away without a real solution because neither the financial institution nor the close connection was truly thinking from their position. No one was standing in their shoes. We have been quietly addressing these constraints for 15 years. But today we are taking a formal step forward with full ownership and full accountability. No more informally, we complete clarity on what we offering and what we commit to. Now, and this is important, we are not opening this is for everyone for right away. This year, we are reserving this offering for 20 clients. These are families with multiple complex requirements and financial solutions. We want to give them our complete focus. After this, we will walk you through exactly what we service covers with the real client situations and how we handle them. We need your complete attention for that session, and we very much look forward to your question afterwards. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Biju John, for the inspiring vision. The journey of Msuite truly reflects your passion for crafting the legacies and that endures. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give him a warm round of applause. We now move to one of the most exciting moments of this evening, the launch of Msuite brand video. To do the honors, we invite two pillars of the Msuite family to the stage. We first invite Mr. Fazal Hamid to please come on to the stage. Mr. Fazal Hamid brings over 30 years of experience in India's capital market, a member of Kochi Stock Exchange since 1997. With prior experience in multinational companies in the Middle East, he now serves as Executive Director and Chief Compliance Officer of MOD. We also invite Mr. Twinkle PT to please come on to the stage. Mr. Twinkle PT brings over 17 years of banking experience with Axis Bank and HDFC Bank, rising from business development executive to senior manager with expertise in customer relationships, retail banking and service quality. He now leads marketing and business development at MOD. Gentlemen, the stage is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to screen as the Msuite story unfolds before us.
You built something extraordinary. A legacy that carries your name, your vision, your family's future. But with great wealth comes great complexity. Tax restructuring, regulatory compliance, asset revaluation, trust amendments. The reports never stop. But what if you didn't have to carry all of it? What if someone handled the complexities so you could be present for the moments that truly define your legacy? Your wealth deserves expertise. Your family deserves you. Msuite. We take care of the rest.
What a compelling story of purpose, vision, and commitment. That is what the Msuite promised. We thank Mr. Fazal Hamid and Twinkle PT for this special moment. We now arrive at a centerpiece of this evening, the Msuite keynote presentation. In the next few minutes, you will understand exactly what Msuite means, what it stands for, what it offers, and why it is at the first of its kinds in Kerala. To walk us through this proposition, we invite Mr. Midun Joe James to stage. Mr. Midun is a seasoned professional with over 23 years of corporate experience across leading organizations in India and Europe, including the Tata Group and Bharati Airtel, an MBA in Finance and Marketing and BTech holder.
Msuite, as I said, as we all mentioned, is Kerala's first multifamily office. It's indeed a privilege and an absolute honor to stand in front of you to introduce Msuite to all of you. But before I introduce the product in detail, I would like to take you through the evolution of Msuite. How the idea of a multifamily office germinated in our minds and subsequently how it took shape. I would like to share three real life incidents which sort of led us to the conviction of Msuite that there is a need for a multifamily office rooted in Kerala for the ultra HNIs and businesses. Obviously, the names of the protagonists are changed for maintaining confidentiality. The first incident is basically a story of a investor called Mr. V.K. Menon. Mr. V.K. Menon is based out of Thrissur. He has a net worth of 125 crores plus. He has three children. Mr. Menon is a patriarch of a second generation trading business. He had amassed substantial wealth from his business over a span of 40 years. But suddenly tragedy struck and he expired without a will and no heir apparent. Suddenly all hell broke loose. The bank accounts were frozen, so were the brokerage accounts because of the lack of will. The business operations were actually impacted badly. The siblings received conflicting advice from well-wishers as well as professionals, which were haphazard and divergent and slowly led to a sort of a rift within the family. Mr. Siddharth Menon, who was the son of V.K. Menon, had a PMS account with us. During a casual chat, he discussed the predicament with us and requested for help. Despite this activity not being within our purview, we got into the act. Our team coordinated with the banks, with lawyers, and all the three siblings, and drove the process to a closure. We obtained the succession certificate in 9 weeks flat. The partition deed was signed without any court cases. New wills and business continuity charter was put in place. This incident actually convinced us that despite all professional help from different professionals that are there, what an ultra HNI family actually needs is a sort of a fulcrum which can steer them in the right direction at the time of need. What they need is not advice but solutions to their issues. They want boots on the ground who can coordinate with multiple stakeholders and build and bring the issues into a logical conclusion. Moving ahead, we have another incident of Mrs. and Mr. Fariz Rahman. So, Mr. Fariz Rahman is was based out of Kozhikode. He went to Dubai and he amassed wealth. After a long and fruitful stint in the Middle East, he decided to sort of return back for a much deserved rest and to engage in charity and some social work. They had a net worth of about 25 crores. But once they returned, the things were not as they had imagined. Their NRI status was unreviewed for 5 years. They were found to be FEMA non-compliant, leading to their mutual fund folios being frozen, and their assets were spread across multiple banks and multiple geographies. Mr. Faiz sought our help. He had a PMS account with us, and again we intervened to sort out the tangled mess. We coordinated and closed the FEMA compliance review. The NRI status gap was identified and revised declaration was filed. The NRE accounts were converted to NRO post return. RNOR was filed, initiating RNOR filing was initiated to preserve tax treaty benefits, and all the mutual fund folios were reactivated with their KYC updation done and SIP reinstated with zero corpus loss. We actually became a single point of contact who coordinated with the CA firms, banks, and AMCs to solve the issues. The issue here remains different. It's actually different from the first incident that we explained. Here it is a NRI repatriation issue. But the takeaway is that for all wealthy families, the takeaway is the same, that what they need is not mere advice, but what they need is solutions. What they need is end-to-end closure for their problems. The third incident that I want to, story or incident that I want to discuss here is about a person called Mr. Manuel Thomas. So Mr. Thomas was based out of Kozhikode. He is 58 years old. He was running a textile business before he migrated to the Middle East. He had investments in Kerala, in Chennai, in Mumbai, and in the Middle East. Over the years, he had bought stocks, mutual funds, SIPs based on the advice from brokers and banks and all the advisors that used to give him advice during that time. After a while, the investments itself turned into a sort of a potpourri. Multiple stocks, mutual funds, some physical share certificates, multiple demat accounts, different names, PAN mismatch, etc., etc. So some accounts were dormant, some accounts did not have nominees. So it was a complete mess. Moreover, Mr. Manuel Thomas also wanted a consolidated view of his wealth, which was not there, or even his family did not have an idea. Mr. Thomas's son-in-law had a PMS account with us and introduced us to him. So we stepped in, took complete ownership of the problem, and closely worked with the family to address their concern. The PAN correction filed, physical shares were dematerialized, duplicate holdings rationalized, and all accounts unified into a single PMS account. While this case again is about asset reconstruction and consolidation, the takeaway is the same as the first two incidents. It is end-to-end solutions that clients and families need, not advice in silos. So what are the challenges that a modern family faces? An interesting quote is that it takes a great deal of boldness and great deal of caution to make great fortune. And when you have got it, it requires 10 times as much wit to keep it. This was said by N.M. Rothschild, the founder of the Rothschild Empire. So modern families face the following challenges: fragmented holdings, multiple accounts, disconnected advisors, insurance agents, bank employees, mutual fund distributors and agents, relationship managers, you name it. So everyone is vying for a piece of the action of a wealthy family. But ultimately, the wealthy family does not get a unified view of their financial and non-financial assets. There are risks and vulnerabilities. tax, regulatory, and succession related vulnerabilities, intergenerational and governance gaps, next generation, how to apportion the wealth within the family. So, the solution to all this is what we are discussing today, which is Msuite. Uh, I just briefly discussed what led us to what led us to this particular product or platform. Why we are saying, why we think that this is the right time for somebody in Kerala, some business in Kerala, to sort of build a product like this. So Msuite provides an integrated wealth strategy. We have a personalized and bespoke multi-asset portfolios and holistic wealth planning. There is going to be a centralized reporting hub, real-time holistic visibility and unified intelligence for your wealth. Interdisciplinary expertise cutting across different domains, departments and jurisdictions. Legacy and succession planning, guidance for succession planning, passing on the wealth to the next generation in the most efficient and hassle-free manner. What Msuite embodies? Msuite is a steward and growth catalyst for generational wealth. It is a unified family office framework which acts as a central coordinator for family wealth, integrates all financial and non-financial decisions, brings structure, visibility and governance to complexity. Msuite, in fact, is not a product in itself, it's a platform to manage the family wealth holistically. Now, who do we serve? So, Msuite partners with high and ultra high net worth individuals and families, business founders and promoters, NRI families with India linked assets, and corporations. So, like we initially mentioned in the start of the welcome address, this product or this platform is going to be restricted for just 20 clients in year one, and happy to announce here that we have already signed up with one client as we speak. So now we only have 19 more left. So our universe of services, we'll discuss in detail what are these services. So the first offering is called as M Capital. It's an investment solution. Our bouquet of services include portfolio management services, which is part of the MORT bouquet. So we provide portfolio management services. We also provide alternate investment funds, AIF. Our partners here, Mr. Brijesh is here of Oxano Capital. He will, during the course of his presentation, would explain what it means. We also provide mutual fund services through one of our other partners. Private equity and venture capital, again through Oxano Capital. Next offering is M Structure. M Structure is basically asset reconstruction and consolidation. This is meant as this is to build a method to the madness, create a structure to disparate and scattered assets across banks, mutual funds, advisors and multiple geographies, elimination of redundant holdings, reconstruction for tax efficiency, creation of a single family balance sheet. Next part of the bouquet is called as M Continuum, which is estate, legacy and succession planning, which entails family trust creation, asset restructuring and valuation, next generation readiness, tax efficient wealth transfer and comprehensive estate restructuring. Now we come to another part of the bouquet, which is called as M Advisory, which is tax and legal advisory, integrated tax structuring, tax filing, tax queries, and tax related issue management, regulatory compliance oversight, NRE, NRO, RNOR conversion and assessment, legal structuring and entity formation, transaction advisory and documentation. Obviously, all these services are provided through our partners who are present here. Next one is M Borderless, which is NRI and cross-border solutions, residency and tax transition planning, nominee support system, global asset consolidation, land and machinery management. And finally, all this culminates into something called as M Console, which is a unified family wealth dashboard, liability and exposure monitoring, cash flow and income intelligence, document vault and compliance tracker, performance and reporting engine. So basically this particular M Console is a single shot view of your wealth, whether it be financial, non-financial, in real time, and it provides necessary intelligence for the family to understand. And it also has got an option of a sort of a succession option also available to it. And obviously all these things will come with necessary secrecy and required and we ensure that the secrecy is not compromised. So Msuite is, like Dr. Vinay Kumar said, Msuite is basically your personal CFO. It provides a consolidated view of your entire family wealth. It gives you a consolidated family balance sheet. It provides, so like a CFO, how a CFO strives or steers an organization for everything that is financial, remotely related to financial assets of an organization. In Msuite, what we envisage is that Msuite will become the financial CFO for a wealthy family and will steer his wealth. So for whom Msuite is an ideal solution for? What we believe is that Msuite is an ideal solution for someone who can commit a total relationship value of 5 crores with us. Someone who wants zero hassle and complete transparency. Value strategic tax structuring and optimization. So that is basically the ethos of Msuite. These are our strategic partners. I think we have already met most of them. We have Uppercrest Wealth based out in Vadodara. We have Oksana Capital. Mohan Kumar and Company is chartered accountants. Panikkar and Panikkar Associates as lawyers and advocates. Balan and Company as chartered accountants, and Orbis Financial Corporation Limited. So here we come to the conclusion of Msuite presentation. And during the course of the day, we can have a Q&A session to clarify the doubts, if at all there are any. Thank you.
We thank Mr. Midhu Joy James for the remarkable presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to another proud milestone of this evening, the launch of Msuite web brochure. Our web brochure is more than just a digital document. It's Msuite's window to the world, a gateway through which families, investors, partners can discover who we are, what we stand for, and how we can craft their legacies together. To launch this digital milestone, we invite none other than our chairman, Dr. T. Vinay Kumar sir, to the stage. This is the digital door of Msuite, are now open to the world, and we thank Dr. Vinay Kumar sir for this honor. Thank you. Now we have a special keynote. Msuite is very proud to have Oxano as a strategic partner. A partner builds on shared values of vision, integrity, and a commitment to creating lasting wealth for entrepreneurs and investors alike. To deliver this keynote, we invite Brijesh Damodaran to the stage, partner and investment manager at Oxano. Tonight, he doesn't just light a lamp, he lights the beginning of a legacy. Mr. Brijesh, the stage is yours.
Quick, how many of you know what is alternates? Great. How many of you have invested in alternates? Fine. No, so there is always a beginning. Like a journey begins with the first small step, and let the small step how it comes. So I think I think a huge round of applause to the entire Mode team, for what they are bringing into the table today. I think it's a larger applause. We can have larger applause, please. Because as we say, wealth creation is very important, and most importantly, as doctor said, guarding it with a moat is as important as growth. So moat guards, Oxano grows. Oxano means growth, moat means guard. So it's like serendipity playing out here. So thanks for this. Quickly, I've got 8 minutes to talk or share my information, 2 minutes what we said. So just do a T20, but I will promise you that this T20 will have real information. So we all, when we talk about alternates, it's we are afraid of it. Why? How much can I lose? Can I lose? Will I lose? Everything is there. But at the same point of time, when you don't take a risk, you are not moving forward. My definition of risk is very simple. Even crossing a road is a risk. So you never know what's happening. There are enough slides here, but I'll only concentrate on 4 slides, which is the most important, the crux of the whole thing. So when you talk about alternates, now we talked about it, like Midhun introduced us to various asset classes and various forms and how we should guard. But if you look at it, look at where equity mutual funds today are, and look at where alternates are. If I go back in time, 12 years back, alternates started as a category with only less than 30 crores as commitment, and today it has got more than nearly 7 lakh crores being invested. We have got nearly 1,800 AIFs. AIFs means alternative investment funds. So what it actually means is that it invests in everything which is not real estate, which is not fixed deposits, which is not stocks, especially category 1 and 2. What is alternates? Why alternates as an asset class, is very important. And you see today, when you have wealth, you have got so many demat accounts. The DIs are growing. I'll give one more stat. Since 2022, the FIs are taking money out of India. In 22, FIs took out $17 billion. And Indians, DIs, you and me in this room, we put in 34 billion. That's why the markets are still being there. Even in 25, even in 26, the domestic institutional investors and people sitting in this room have poured more money and believed in the India growth story as compared to the FIs. I think a round of applause for all of us in this room for ensuring that the market is still there. So, recently the SEBI chairman, the new chairman, has made the right noises and making it more investor protected, so that the probability of protection is much higher as along with the growth of your capital. Now, as what does Oxono do? Before the Oxono do, with the partnership which we have with with Moat. So our team and the Moat team, which is just sharing it here. The presentation is there for you to be shared. But I just thought a strong leadership team is required to service and grow what we are doing. So quickly, so we have 3 funds. So we talked about category 1 AF. Category 1 AF need a commitment of 1 crore, a 2 and a 3, both crore. But a category 1 angel requires a commitment only of 25 lakhs. When you say commitment, it only means that you commit for a certain amount, but all the money need not be drawn down, means or not invested at the same point of time. Category 2 is where the real thing comes into play, wherein we invest in growth opportunities, we invest in pre-IPO opportunities. How many of you know one of the first fintech unicorns in India came out of Kochi? The money was invested, by investors from Bombay. What stopped us in this room from investing this opportunity and making a killing? Now they have moved to Bangalore, by the way, but Kerala has its own unicorn. So I think we should also give that, be proud of that fact. So that is where a lot of, the investments, come into play when you talk about, in the growth fund. The most important part in alternate investments is that you may invest in 5, 7, 10 investments and you can lose in 8 of them. But if you make money in 2 of them, you make more money than what you can ever make in any other opportunities. So that is money is in the waiting. So if you are looking, only if you have a time horizon of between 5 to 7 years, then only you should invest in this asset class. But I also say, when you put in real estate, you can wait forever, right? So what is 7 years when you can wait forever in putting the money there? So look from that perspective, that don't ignore it. Try to look deeper into it. If you don't understand, get to know more. But still you don't understand, then don't wait. But don't give it a miss. That is the most important point of it. Let me share what is a performance. This is what I talked to you about. But the most important, this is a performance. This is where we'll spend some time. This is what we have performed. We started in 2016. When you call about DPI, RVPI, these are basic. What is DPI? If you put in 1 rupee or 100 rupees, how much I have returned back to you? When you say RVPI, it also means if you put in 100 rupees, the amount which I have returned to you and the value of the investments which I have not returned to you. That is nearly 4 times of what is what. And then the TVPI is total value as we speak. So that is where, so if you look at our DPI and RVPI is equal to TVPI. What is XIRR? XIRR means from the day you invested, let's say you put the money in 2020 and 100 rupees, and today, what is the value of that 100 rupees after taking the money out? So that is where I realized, so it's 1850, close to around 18%. And what we have not realized, which is still there, it's on a conservative basis, is less than 20%. This is from the period 1618. So we have given the history to you to understand why alternates is an asset class which should not be ignored. Similarly with 1920, which we did, and other 2 are recently fairly recent. So money comes to the waiting. Last year in 2025, every quarter we gave an exit to our investors ranging from 1.3 times, which was like investments less than 15 months, to an investment for over 4 years where we gave 7x. Is it normal? The answer is no. But can it happen? The answer is yes. So unless and until you have 5 to 7 year kind of an horizon, don't look into the asset class to investing, but get yourself more accustomed and know about the whole thing. So this is when we started small, and then right now, we have 2 more funds. See, what distinguishes us from any other VC firm or PE firm? Me and my directors, whom we saw earlier, nearly 9% of the total invested capital, close to 150 odd crores, which we have invested now, and we got a commitment of close to 350 crores, is our money. So it's not that we take your money, invest, it's our personal money invested in that. So that shows that we have skin in the game and we grow alongside with you. So that this is what an USP which is there. The regulator says you have to put X amount, but we say no. We believe what we are doing, and this is what we want to. So again, if I compare this with stocks, in alpha it typically means that how much we have given an extra return as compared to the Nifty during that period. So if you look from that perspective, I think we have outperformed. I think the God has been kind. From that perspective, the Lord has been kind. So from that perspective, you said at every point, if you see, we have outperformed the benchmark. But one thing here, you don't have liquidity. So that is where the liquidity premium comes into play, and that is where the alpha which is there in play is there. And these are some of the companies which you have invested in. Some of the ones which you will hear more. And I just thought, let me do. Our thesis is very simple. Invest in emerging megatrends, which can create just the category creator or a market creator or a market owner, and then go alongside with that. So that's the whole approach. This is some of the exits about how we go about doing it. Some case studies which is there, how it grew. The entire presentation will be there, but I just thought you should know one thing, major thing. This is an important slide for every one of you. If you look at angel investing and look at institutional investing, we are institutions. You look at angel, you go to spray and pray. 2 lakhs avada, 5 lakhs avada, 10 lakhs avada. Please don't do that. Every penny matters. So trust your money in an institution. Monitoring, preferential rights, founder accountability, none of that you get as an angel. But it will come to institutional, we cover all your rights. We ensure that your rights are taken care of. So these are some of the investments which you are doing, and which actually in place if you want to invest or took baby step into the 25 lakhs commitment. This is something which you are doing as we speak. This is the entire process which in play. So as I'm sitting here, my team in the background is actually wetting it. So we got our own playbook, and we run by the playbook. So process matters than anything else. And this is the longer fund wherein we have delivered returns. 2 of the funds should get listed sometime this year. So if you participate in this, you will also get to be part of the exit. And this is some of the opportunities. So on the left hand side is what should get listed. Some of the names, if you're doing it, then you must be noticing it. I'll stop here. I'll pause here because PMS also Mode provides. We are a partner with Mode for that. And that's the thing. Any questions you have? I can go on and on, by the way. Take a small baby step. Trust yourself. Alternates as an asset class is something which cannot be ignored. Mutual funds, when it came out in that manner. Similarly, India needs capital for its entrepreneurs to grow. Instead of someone owning us, we should be owning ourselves from that perspective. And that's where protection which Moat offers and Oxono which offers growth, a deadly combination. Rahul Dravid and Virendra Sehwag if you're playing cricket. I pause here. If you have any cues, more than willing to take it. Yeah, typically, so when you say minimum investment category an angel, commitment amount is 25 lakhs. And the drawdown happens as and when the opportunities comes to you. And one should look at an holding period of at least 7 years. Because, there is a pivot which happens, things change, ecosystem adapts. So you need to be aware of that. And in that, let's say if you put in 10 companies or 7 companies, majority may fail. But what goes up can more than make up for what lost. So if you look at a portfolio level, you should be making a decent money. That's what the data which we shared with you since the last decade. Absolutely. It's because I said our own personal money is there, right? So we need to grow. So we want to grow with you. And many of our investors are ones who have started small, and for them every penny matters. So that's why I said, don't be an angel investor. Let an institution guide you. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish, from that perspective. So great. I think, if no more questions, I can be available after that. But, once more cheers to to Moat, and thanks Moat. Great. I'm so glad you took it up. So venture capital invests in companies which can grow and become real big. So for that matter, I would say that is a small disruptive company or an AI company which wants to create big, that is where venture capital puts in money. That's a risk capital at the highest end. P comes in wherein the company has grown, and venture capital has put in money and the company has grown, and now it is ready for explosive growth next. So let's say Gokul Das Exports or some of the SMEs here in Kerala who have a turnover of 100 crores or 50 crores or 20 crores, and they want to become 10 times of that. So you need large capital. You also need advice. You also need networks and connects to grow. And that is where P comes in and puts money. When P comes in, they also take many times larger seat in the board and a say in how the operations work. And that's how the major so P requires larger capital. So can you put in a 25 lakhs in a P and grow with it? Answer is no. You may have to put in maybe say 25 crores as an investor to be a part of the P. But in venture, you can put in lesser amount. But understand one thing, venture has more risk than a P. So typically when a P exits, you will have a 3x and 4x, which sounds fantastically well. And whereas in a venture exit, you may have anywhere from a negative to 2x, 5x, 10x, 80x, as you say. So those things can happen in play. So money is made in venture capital in the waiting. Whereas in P, the return on capital is faster. Seed fund, so the definition is evolving. The earlier the thing was that when I start an entity, a business, I have an idea. I would come to my families and friends and say, why don't you give us capital and grow? Now that was very early stage. Now that became institutionalized, and then VCs or accelerators or networks, they said ki we will give you capital for you to grow. That is the seed, the early capital for you to get a product market fit, or or get your service or product more out there for people to grow and see. Plus from the seed, if you're growing big, if you go the next stage, then larger venture capital firms comes in to ensure that this can become really big. But when you put in the seed, the risk of it becoming negative or you losing a capital is also high. So you need to be very mindful when you do that. But you need capital. Great. Thanks for this. Cheers.
Thank you, Mr. Brijesh, for the truly illuminating presentation on Oksana and the world of private equity and venture capital. The partnership between Msuite and Oksana is a powerful one, and tonight we are proud to celebrate it. Please join me in a warm round of applause for Brijesh Damodaran. And we'll take few seconds to arrange 3 chairs. 3 chairs. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the moment many of you have been looking forward to, an open and candid conversation with the Msuite leadership team. Before we begin, a special note for our online audience joining us on live on YouTube. We see you and we welcome you warmly. Please feel free to post your questions in YouTube comment section. Our team is monitoring the comments live and your questions will be brought to the panel. For our guest in the hall, please raise your hands and our team will bring the microphone to you. We have with us on the panel this evening 3 of the finest minds behind the Msuite. First, Midunjo James, the head of strategy and investments, the man who just walked us through the Msuite proposition with such clarity and conviction. Second, Biju John, CEO and founder of Mode, the visionary whose dream we are celebrating tonight. And third, Twinkle PT, GM Marketing, the force behind how Msuite connects with the world. Gentlemen, welcome to the panel.
So the floor is open. If there are any questions regarding Msuite or anything else, we can try to answer it to the best of our knowledge. Any doubts, anything regarding the presentations, anything regarding the ways of working, we'll be happy to answer.
So we have few questions in online.
Sure.
What led you to adopt the family office model and what motivated you to develop this solution?
I think we sort of touched upon it on our presentation. We in fact were providing some of these services at a bespoke level. So some of the clients wanted us to go beyond our regular PMS activity, and we were actually able to resolve some of the issues. Now, what we also found out is that, like we said in the presentation, what we also found out is that ultra high net worth individuals and families actually want solutioning. They have multiple problems and they want a consolidated solution to their problems. So we found it, we believe that there is a space for an organization within Kerala who knows the lay of the land, who can traverse through this maze, which is maybe government, which is multiple stakeholders and so on and so forth, and bring these issues to some sort of a successful fruition. So that is where this idea of Msuite germinated. And like we said in the beginning of the presentation, our CEO always had this vision of Msuite. I believe it is the right time that we are launching this service, and with the blessing of all of you, we believe this should sort of catapult into something really big. You want to add something?
No, nothing.
So we have another question. As a regional player, how do you differentiate yourself from well-established family offices in metros such as Mumbai and Pune?
That is definitely an interesting question. This is we are in a way we are not unique, because there are other multifamily offices, there are other wealth managers. But at the same time, like we said, we are the first in Kerala to think about it and start this. I think what sets us apart, or what is unique for us, is that somebody who sits in Mumbai, say for example a national player, like the examples that we or the stories that we shared, if you have a issue related to succession planning, how are they going to resolve it? Do they have foot on street? Do they have boots on the ground? They would sort of probably pass it on to some bank manager here or somebody here who is their representative in Kerala. And I don't think they will be able to give an end-to-end solution to the satisfaction of the client like what they actually want, which we which was actually evident from some of the case studies that we showed here. They would give you advices. Some of these would be in multiple directions, different directions, and it may not be ending into a successful solutioning for the client. So I think we know the lay of the land. We know how to traverse through this maze. We know how to untangle all these issues and uh, get the client's satisfaction. So I think that is where we are unique. That is our USP.
One more word I can add. Actually, the solutions, localized solution we can only provide. National players, they may not the real issues. They don't have any idea. That is the reason the localized player is a core important area to find out some solution, to sort out the solutions. That is the reason. It is the time to start. It is a time for a lot of solutions.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is like, in what ways does Msuite's family office model create value beyond what traditional wealth management structures offer?
So a traditional wealth management company, whether it is in our avatar as a PMS company or even a wealth management company that we have in the national players and so on and so forth, uh, predominantly are into financial assets. So they might be serving some sort of, they might be giving you advice in terms of equity, in terms of fixed assets, in terms of probably even alternate assets. But when what we envisage is something much bigger. It is not only financial assets, it is your non-financial assets. It is a solution to all your problems in the sense that for a large family, for a large organization per se, we would be a fulcrum wherein which we would sort of coordinate with the entire stakeholders. We would break the silos and we would ensure that the client satisfaction is upheld and the solutions are provided. So that puts us in a very unique space uh, where I don't think any of the present solutioning uh, is able to sort of solve these issues for the ultra high net worth individuals and families. So that I think is what is unique for us.
So there's another question, which is like,
One second. Any questions from here?
like
Sure.
Right.
So what happens here is you're talking about certain individuals, NRIs and families. You're using three different terms. How do you avoid a dispute? Meaning you're talking about an investment of say 5 crores. Why I'm saying this is when it is going well, we all theoretically everything looks good, but practically it's absolutely mess. I'm telling you, when it comes to family,
Right.
when you don't have money, you will not have a problem. When you have money, then a lot of problems will pop
Absolutely.
up. All right, and we are there to solve it.
Right. Right.
So therefore, I've been watching why you have not added the word HUF. I was observing why you have not added how you are going to bring in clarity as to the moment it crosses 5 into 1.5 or 5 into 2x. How are you going to distinguish?
Right.
And there is absolutely a requirement of how you are going to uh, address the individual need of each of the investors in a family. For example, if you're taking 5 crores as a combined fund, how are you going to bring in clarity? That's going to be an issue.
I agree. I fully agree with you. I think obviously what you said is bang on. That is right. But the concept here is not that the entire. So, for example, there is family A, B, C. We combine together and then ask for a corpus of 5 crore. That is not the proposition. The proposition is for a ultra high net worth individual. What it entails, or what we are trying to solve, is that his next generation, probably his succession planning, his estate planning, and all that. That is part of the initial proposition that we have. So we are in a sense a multi-family office, but it is not that we combine multiple families and collect and then solve that issue.
No, I'll be more clear.
Yeah.
Assuming a family of 5 members or 3 members,
Right.
individually they don't have this 5 crore mark.
Okay.
Do you have a product which says, look, you put together and 5 crore threshold is met, we'll be suiting for this Msuite. Does it work like that?
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work.
work like that. No, so the 5 crore amount is sort of maybe arbitrary or whatever, but that can be 5 or 10 or 3 or 4. That is different. But the point is, we are not trying to merge multiple and then create a product. That is not part of the.
I think you
intention.
can be
Sure.
bring a
I
little
got
clarity.
we got
yeah.
your point.
Because people, our land is full of funds.
Right.
All right. If you travel northern Kerala,
Yeah.
any sum of money you ask, they'll get you.
Right.
We have seen the newspapers that somebody falls sick and people start
Sure.
contributing.
Sure. Right.
And we are going to get some more good news going forward.
Right.
That I think you have clarified that.
Right.
See, we always have to fall back on how our PM, responds to a crisis.
Sure.
Yesterday he said we should be prepared. He didn't compare with COVID or something like that. He said you be prepared. So how are you going to see the value at risk for a medium to long term, short to medium term investor?
Okay. So
Especially when everything is in standstill. I understand that Philippines and Japan, all those countries have stopped rationing the energy thing. It's not going to be as easy as it's actually rippling.
right, that's right. Yeah. But your question is related to how we manage the
Yeah, because the performance, when we talk about averaging,
okay.
it's okay, because when it comes to COVID, it went up, went
Sure,
down
sure.
and went up
Yeah.
for it.
So your question is specific to the financial assets, equity related,
And
right?
because I understand certain. I thought it was Damodar's presentation,
Right.
where you are picked up certain industries.
Right.
It is coupled. According to me, it is coupled.
Okay.
In the sense, the moment you touch oil,
Right.
everything related to plastic,
Right.
it's getting
Yeah.
touched.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering how this will have a
Yeah. So I
coupling
think
effect.
regarding, I believe the question is more related to the equity side
Correct.
of the
Exactly.
proposition.
Listed equity or private equity?
In whichever way.
Anything. So I think he
in-
is referring to Mr. Brajesh's presentation and then asking this question. So I think,
I think
our philosophy.
we are coupling the resources management together. You take
Yeah,
a
so
combined
something
decision.
related to AIF and VC funding and all that is his
See,
proposition.
Moat is on the right track. When I say that, when you're talking about direct equity, you're talking about private equity, you're also talking about asset allocation. So asset allocation is the key which the family offices will deal with and do with, and that is where they will be able to, Moat will be able to give a very strategic and optimal decision making without incentives coming into play, which is the most important part. So that is where family offices with asset allocation can be very much helpful to the investors in the longer time period. Am I
I
same
think
track?
just to add on to what Mr. Brajesh said, so specific to equities, specific to investing in listed equities, our philosophy has always been that, like the famous saying goes, price is what you get, and in the short run, equity or a stock is like a voting machine. In the long run, it is like a weighing machine. So what we believe is that there are two different things. One is price and the other is value. So if you genuinely ask me, over a period of 2 years or 3 years, all these would be a non-event. Most of these things that we see. So most of the things that we see today are frightening. There are challenges, obviously, but that is where, as investors, that is what gives us opportunities also to invest. So in the short run, the market is like a manic depressive, it is said. So it gives us a lot of opportunities to enter into wonderful businesses, because we don't believe that a stock is a ticker symbol. For us, it is It is a living, breathing organization. And as an investor, we are becoming a part owner of that organization. So think about it. When you get a petrol pump or a restaurant nearby, and when do you buy it? You buy it when it is cheap, right? You have all the assets and everything, and you buy it when it is cheaper. It is not that you buy it when it is very costly, right? So this is such an opportunity for all of us, is what we believe, because all the short-term gyrations, short-term challenges will pass, and it has been passing. And tomorrow, if it doesn't pass, like some smart guy said during COVID, if uh, if this is going to be Armageddon, then all of us are dead. So there is no worries. So that has been our philosophy. Any other questions?
We are taking this year, and the client, each client, what could be the fee? How we are charging this
So
fee?
that is the I got your question. So that is the interesting part. So what we do is, for the PMS part of it, or the assets under management part of it, we have our standard PMS fees that we charge. On top of that, whatever services that we offer is actually not coming under the auspicious of our thing. For example, if you require a service with a chartered accountant, what we do is we connect you with the chartered accountant, and we ensure that we take it to a conclusion. But the fees will be sort of directly negotiated and discussed and closed. What we offer is basically that we will be in that loop, and we will ensure that all these things are taken into a final conclusion. That is how the fee structure works. Meaning there is no standard fees for all that auxiliary services. And some of it might be free, some of it would be part of our, depends on the size of the activity.
Also, this 20 clients, it should be a mode client, or you can take another client also. Suppose if
Obviously,
they should not be a mode
new
client.
clients and mode clients all are welcome. Yes.
Anyone else?
We have one more online question. It's really a general question, like how do you access the short-term and long-term implications of the Iran-Israel geopolitical conflicts on global and domestic capital markets?
I think part of it we actually answered now, saying that these are all short-term gyrations and short-term turbulences. Just think about it. We actually did a video about it some time back. Who would have thought that in the beginning of 2025, if you just rewind and see, who all would have thought what all would have happened? So, for example, assume that you are in the end of 2024, and then we see a lot of smart heads coming on TV and giving targets for markets and companies and so on and so forth. Just think about it. If you are in 2024 end, and if somebody has asked you to give a prediction of what would have happened in 2025, I'm sure nobody would have predicted the Trump tariffs. Nobody would have predicted the war in Gaza. Nobody would have predicted what all is happening in the world now. So I believe most of these things are noise. Like we said, if everything goes down and if everything ends just like that, then none of us are here. But what we have seen over the period of last 50, 60, 70 years of Indian markets is that eventually everything falls in place, because we are, like we were speaking to Mr. Brijesh today. The point is that there is something called as ovarian lottery. It is said that people in US one generation back, they were actually recipients of an ovarian lottery, meaning you are born in US, because of that you get lots of plus points, right? You have social security, you have lot of wealth and so on and so forth. I believe now we are in such a situation in India. It is sort of an ovarian lottery where, because think about it, which country in the world grows, which large country in the world grows consistently by 7%, 7.5%, 8%. Where do we have such a demography where everything is to our advantage? Our working population median age is 27, 28. So which means that we have another 20, 25, 30 years of prosperity which is about to unfold in front of us. So we are actually blessed with all of that, but we at times what happens is that we actually forget the forest for the trees. There is a saying which says that we don't see the long term picture, meaning all the short term challenges, short term issues generally bogs us down. So for example, in the last 1 month, what all we have went through, we had the wars, we had multiple problems. One day market goes up, one day it goes down. Oil touching 120, oil touching 99, 95. So there are multiple challenges and multiple gyrations, but I think we all need to take a chill pill, think about it in the long term, and I think things will fall in place. That I've not actually spoken about the Iran-Israel war because that is anybody's take. It can happen. It can maybe tomorrow morning there will be another tweet. We have seen an interesting pattern every day morning, Indian morning or Indian night. We see a interesting tweet from Mr. Donald J. Trump saying that thanks for your attention for this matter, and the markets keep dancing based on that, right? So yeah, right, right, true. Yeah, yeah.
Mostly you allocate equity, or do you have any other standard structure?
So in this particular product, it is like bespoke. It is based on the client's requirements. So it can be actually split between equity. So equity part will take care. It can be split between equity and AIF mutual fund. So all that opportunities are there.
Okay.
So it is case to case based on the client. The total engagement value is 5 crores is what we are.
So majorly
thinking.
you'll be investing equity.
Yeah, that is again based on the client requirement. So if somebody is wanting to invest everything in equity, we will be more than happy to do that. But also the other asset classes, if somebody wants not only pure play equity, wants to invest something in the form of a mutual fund, we can do that.
But as an expert, what do you advise? Like when a customer comes in, as an expert, probably this guy doesn't have a complete picture asset.
Right.
As an expert, what could be your advice to him? Like, better to allocate the maximum in equity, some portion in, like, say, gold or reality?
Yeah, so it is also based on the client's
Clients think that the guy doesn't have any understanding. He has money.
Okay.
Okay, he comes to you. You are an expert, so you need to advise him.
Yeah, so even in equities, we have the other asset classes are now part of equity. So for example, like you meant, if you want to invest in precious metals, obviously that is all all of that comes under the auspices of equity. Probably we will suggest to have a decent diversification, but mostly in equities, probably in some other asset classes like precious metals and all that, we may not suggest AFs and all that, because we don't know, because like the character that you mentioned is not that knowledgeable, or he is kind of a novice. So probably we will go with equity and sure.
Today there is an order of Honorable NCLT Kochi.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. 51 companies, sub-companies, and Malabar Gold is getting merged.
Yeah.
Okay. And he is one of the chairman. He is one of the chairman in one of the meetings.
51 Malabar Gold's own company.
51 of them.
I think they have a structure where they have a partnership with somebody in a local place.
Don't go near
and
Malabar.
these were all different companies.
That's
now they are going to merge it together.
Yeah.
I think
51.
they were actually.
Bima is going to have that meeting on 4th. I was appointed as the chairman. Kalyan is going for a meeting maybe in the coming 2 weeks.
I believe somewhere they were actually forced to do that action, if I'm not wrong.
See, Kerala, there are a lot of restructuring happening.
Right.
So ICICI Bank got reverse merged with ICICI Limited.
Right.
This is nothing.
That's true.
True.
So when you have a bigger,
It's a Malabar is going for the IPO.
that's true. That's the reason. That's a chess game.
Oh,
First
oh.
move.
Okay.
That's true.
The value itself will come to around 5,000 crores.
Yeah. That's a brilliant move. And 51 companies, LLPs and all put together, they are going to going to a big company.
Okay.
And almost professionals have been made chairman. I think you are 3 or 4, and I've been made as a coordinator.
Oh, I see.
About 51 meetings we have to coordinate.
Oh.
So around 180 meetings will happen.
Yeah.
So all these 52 companies. Altogether. So
Sure.
we need to have shareholders meeting as well as the creditors meeting.
Okay.
So it will come to around 180 meetings. So all has to be chaired, and there should be a scrutinizer as well. And he has been engaged to coordinate everything.
To just give you a number,
Right.
1 crore is the fees which is going to be paid to all these professionals who are going to be chairmen, scrutinizers, and coordinators like us. 1 crore.
Okay. Give us the list.
This is
We'll
brand
approach
new.
them.
This is a brand new news. 6 o'clock order of NCLT Kochi, as fresh.
We have got a new client. Yeah.
Okay. Then
Okay. Any more questions? If that's enough, then I think we can then close the session. Okay.
Our sincere gratitude to Midun Jo James, Biju John, and Twinkle PT for the openness and clarity and passion. And a special thanks to all our special guests for your thoughtful questions. Every great evening must have its final moment, and ours is one of gratitude. To offer the closing remarks and vote of thanks, I invite to the stage the man who has been instrumental in bringing this evening to life, Mr. Fazal Hamid, Executive Director of Msuite.
Good evening, distinguished guests, valued partners, and my dear colleagues. On behalf of MOT, I extend sincere gratitude to all of you for joining today. Your presence is very grateful for your presence today. I thank all the investors, associates, and business partners for your unwavering support. And a big applause to the team behind the solution, Biju, Midun, Twinkle, and all the research team. Kudos to all of you. And all the guests, thank you for joining us today. Your insights have been valuable, and let us continue this journey together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fazal. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire MSU team, thank you for honoring with us your presence this evening. The best investment one can make is in relationship builds on trust and shared purpose. Tonight, I believe, is the beginning of many such relationships. Before we move to our networking dinner, we would like to take a moment to celebrate the people who made this evening possible. We warmly request the entire Mott family, every member of our team, to please come onto the stage for a group photograph. I'll invite individually every member. First, I would like to invite Biju John onto the stage, CEO and MD of Mott. Executive Director. Sudesh, Finance and Principal Officer. Midun Jo James, Head of Strategy and Investment. Nandu SP, AI and Data Analyst. Ben Benny, Equity Research Analyst. Jyotish Vijay, Equity Research Analyst. Myself, Reshma Gobiga, Equity Research Analyst. Twinkle PT, GM Marketing. Aishwarya Radhakrishnan, she's online, she's present, she's with us in online. Muhatsi, nurturing head of Shirot Sebastian, Christian Manager, Operations, Manju Biju, Administration. Yeah, that's our entire group over here. Vinay Kumar sir, our chairman. Miraj, he's always with us with every function and he's like Ladies and gentlemen, the formal proceedings of this evening have now come to a close, but the evening is far from over. We warmly invite all our distinguished guests to join us for the networking dinner at Kochi Kitchen restaurant located at the ground floor, an opportunity to connect, converse and celebrate this milestone together. Thank you everyone. Good evening and bon appetit. Bye.